Wow. So the only reason I'm able to talk right now and not crying with laughter is because, during editing, I see that the intro scene like, 500 times. Oh, man. That was hilarious. So welcome, everybody, to Week 8, which is the strongest and the toughest week so far. And I think this is actually going to be the toughest week of the whole program. Because even though in Week 10, which will be coming up in 2 weeks, we go up to 92.5% on the weights, the reps come down from sets of 3 to sets of 2. So I actually think that's going to feel easier, believe it or not. So the bench, as you see here, I actually hit this first set for a PR of 212.5 for 3 reps. But then I had the same problem that I had 2 weeks ago, which was, couldn't lock out the third rep on this second set. And so I decided on the final 2 sets, instead of even attempting the third rep, just to rack it after 2. And I'm trying to figure out, what the deal is with that. Is that just because of those squats, beforehand? Are they taxing me too much? Or is this grip width actually not that good for me? Because you're going to see later on with the wide grip bench, I take the same weight and I just murder it. We'll talk more about that in a minute. I actually have a plan to solve if it's the grip width issue, and that is during my test week, which is going to be last week of March. I'm actually going to test both grips, try and max both of them when I'm fresh. So, I'll do my current normal grip without doing the pause squats right beforehand. I'll just switch it for that workout, test the max and then do pause squats after. And then on the corresponding Tuesday, I'll test the wide grip max. And whichever one comes out stronger, I'll go with that as my standard grip. All right, so here we are on squat day, and boy, am I liking squatting these days, because this program has made me so much stronger in the weakest position of the squat, which is the bottom. I don't feel like I'm getting bent over, which is normally what happens when you reach up near your maximum, because generally speaking, it's your stability that gives first and not your leg strength. Oftentimes what will happen is you'll start to push up and your butt will actually kick way back and your upper body will kind of bend forward, to compensate, and that's where you lose the weight. So we actually hit 297.5 for 4 times over. Feeling good about that. My target, as I mentioned at the beginning of the program, is 330 for a single. So we'll see how things go during test week. And believe it or not, the biggest squat I actually ever hit in a contest was 355. And if I recall correctly, that was done with no knee wraps, so it was just a belt. So we're kind of getting up to all-time PR territory pretty soon. Biggest total squat I ever hit in my life was 390. That was in the gym, but with wraps on, knee wraps. And when I was at the national championship meet, I hit 341 as my opener, but then when I went for 390 after that, I got crushed. These things happen. Oh, here we are on the wide grip bench. You'll notice, I crushed this for 4 sets of 3, basically no problem. And, on the whole week, I was scheduled to do 4 sets of 3 on, Saturday and Tuesday on the bench. I ended up getting 21 total reps instead of the scheduled 24, which still is pretty good, right? With 212.5. I mean, that's weights I've never really pushed around for that kind of volume. So I'm liking that a lot. But like I said, we're going to test both and see what works better. And it's deadlift time. So actually, 320 by 3 is a PR, but that is current day PR or old man PR. We're still a long way off from the good old days of college lifting. Believe it or not, I actually don't know for sure my all-time deadlift single PR. I know it's at least 455. I can't remember if there was also a 10 on each side of the bar, because it was 4 big plates and a 25 for sure. And I just can't remember if there was also a 10 for 475. So I guess I'll just call it 455. And like I said, that's still a little ways off, but I think we're going to get pretty close to 400 at the end of this training cycle, because, watching those deadlifts, man, they're flying up. I mean, there was like no problem with that. Also having no problem with the grip strength. If you remember, I was complaining about that last summer. And I think now that I'm quite a bit healthier than I was then, I'm sleeping better, getting better recovery, the grip strength has been there. And so that is awesome. So we finished out the week with PRs on the overhead press, 3 reps, 137.5. So it's an excellent week. Killed it. Feeling good. Next week is a repeat of week 3. And, we'll see you then. Take care.